All right, good evening, everyone. Yes, it is October the 6th, and welcome to Building Stronger Neighborhoods, Neighborhood Nuggets. My name is Sadie Blue, and I will be your host on tonight. I serve with Building Stronger Neighborhoods as a community consultant, and I am happy to be here on tonight. Man, and I have a treat for you on tonight. I know the last two segments we have talked about census. We've talked about voting, but tonight we're going right back head first and talk about community directly. Man, yeah, we got a lot to get to on tonight. So stay tuned. There will be a giveaway on tonight. So you don't want to miss it. Somebody's going to get a Starbucks gift card as it's getting a little chillier and ain't nothing like a hot cup of coffee, cocoa, hot tea, whatever it is that you like. So we'll be giving that away on tonight. So thank you so much for joining us on tonight. If you will share or start a watch party with this on tonight, your neighbors do not want to miss what we have to share on tonight. I think it will light a fire in a lot of people as we're starting to open back up in our state and get our neighbors back out and engaging with us. So tonight, I'm grateful to have on with me Miss Susan Taft, who is from Lindley Park neighborhood. I have Miss Pat McFoy. She is from the Cottage Grove, but also serves with the New Hope Development organization. And so they're with us on tonight. I have one more who will be jumping in here very soon. So I am super excited. So hello, ladies. Thank you so much for
Hello.
joining us on
Hello.
tonight. Yeah. So we're going to ask that Miss Susan Taft will go first. Introduce who you are. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do in your community.
Hi, I'm Susan Taft. I live in Lindley Park neighborhood, and I've been working as a volunteering with a citywide organization, Greensboro Neighborhood Congress, for a few years, and I guess that's the work I do in the community. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Susan. Miss Pat McFoy, hi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Pat McFoy. I am the Executive Director of New Hope Community Development Group. I am a proud member of the Cottage Grove Neighborhood Association, Cottage Grove for life. And I am excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Miss Pat. And my good friend Derek Joyner has joined us. Hey, Derek. So unmute yourself, Derek, so I can talk to you, dude. He's looking for that unmute button.
There we
we
are.
go.
Okay, I got it.
Hey, man.
Hey guys, hey everyone.
So, Derek, you can introduce yourself. Tell us what neighborhood group you with, what you do in your neighborhood.
Okay, so I am with Willow Oaks, and I was just elected the neighborhood association president. You know, I was in the background for about 2 or 3 years, just getting my sea legs on, before. And now, I'm sort of in the driving seat trying to direct things in a really positive direction. And hey, Pat.
Hey, how are you guys? Good to see you.
Good. Finally, good to see you. Hey, nice to finally virtually meet you. And my girl, Sadie.
So thank you so much, each of you, including Derek, for joining us. Derek may pop out a few minutes early, but I appreciate you carving out a little time to be with us on tonight as we talk about that we are all still neighbors and how we can engage. So I am super excited. I want to start off. I need to pick on Derek for a minute. So Derek, I see him on Facebook, and Derek is going to come back and do a segment with us, and we're going to do a little bit of dancing. So behind the scenes, I have a few ladies that are my co-workers, and they're my technical support. And if you got on early, you heard us playing Staying Alive. And Derek's going to come back in a segment, and we're going to do a little bit of movement and talk about why that's important that neighbors get out and move and groove, whatever that looks like. So he keeps me inspired to at least try to do a little something, roll my shoulders or something, shake my leg, do something. So Thank you so much, Derek, for keeping me inspired. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start off with the first question. On a serious note, as we're dealing with COVID, we know that some neighborhoods are laying very dormant. It doesn't mean that they're not alive, but they're just kind of laying still. I want to ask you all the question, each of you, why do you feel that it's important, especially during this time of the pandemic, for our neighborhoods to stay engaged? I'll start with you, Susan.
Yes, the neighborhood organization in Lindley Park, the LPNA, has mostly had to cancel plans. That's been the big activity, is canceling plans. And what has happened kind of in its place has been individuals who may or may not be part of that organization just taking things into their own hands. There have been, like we usually have an Easter egg hunt that was canceled, and there people posted or drew Easter eggs in their house, and so kids could do like a walking hunt and just see who had it. And a lot of sidewalk chalk was used, where folks just kind of communicating with each other and sending out positive messages, and so that filled that need of connecting with people, and showing goodwill, and so that I think that's what we want, and so that was, we were able to do that, but just in a really different way, because the organization acts on this kind of larger collaborative work. And when we couldn't get together and we couldn't get groups together, that just wasn't as didn't fit that well with our time. So it really did come down to the individual. And another neighborhood in town, Glenwood, saw very early on the power of neighbors during the pandemic, and they developed their own outreach program to individuals, knocked on doors to make sure to see if anyone needed anything, and helped out some elderly folks in the neighborhood. Also, they continue to have they have 3 little pantries. So instead of the little libraries where folks could erect a little shelter in the front yard for lending books, they changed that out to being food, non-perishable foods. And I guess I'm assuming about the non-perishable part, but and a lot of people have been contributing to those pantries, and a lot of people have been eating well from the pantries. So again, that meeting the needs of each other.
All right, thank you. So Derek, I'm gonna ask you to go next. Tell me, why do you think it's important that neighborhoods stay engaged during this time of COVID?
Well, the biggest thing, is just what you said. People sort of just stuck their head down in their shell, and our neighborhood. I don't want to say it's compact, but it's probably more compact than Lindley Park. I'm thinking because you guys have streets everywhere and up and down the park, and we're Susan. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the way that our community is built. You've got like apartments and houses all in the same geographical area. So in that sense, it's a lot easier. But I have noticed that since the pandemic, people just poof, but I'm very much like into Facebook and internet communication. So I collaborate with Sadie and with Pat, and and we actually have a management company, because we're housing development. So we have a management company, and they have a lot of email addresses. So what I make sure is, even if they don't respond, I send stuff out so they know, listen, we're still doing stuff for you guys. I mean, we did a little tree cleanup along McConnell Road, and I made sure I posted that. And you want people to see, we have a farmer's market. I think you guys have one over the thing on Sundays, right, Susan? It's not Lindley Park, but I know which one you're talking. My friend
Yeah,
lives over on Elam.
yeah. Saturday mornings.
Exactly. My friend lives over there. So, and we're trying to do some things like a pumpkin festival or, obviously social distancing and all of that. But, that's actually since the pandemic, I've actually got in touch with more people by Zoom and stuff like that because it's actually easier than me having to come out to them or come up to the center. You could be in your living room. So in that sense, something like Zoom has actually made it easier. I do miss that person-to-person contact, but my biggest thing is to make sure that they know, hey, we're still here and we still care about you. And here's this little thing that you can do. And we did COVID testing twice and we're trying to do, but we get it out there and we put it out there so they know, hey, we haven't forgotten about you. So that's the biggest thing.
Well, thank you, Derek. Ms. Pac-Man Foy, if you'll unmute yourself at this time and talk to us a little bit about why do you think it's important, maybe share some things that you all are doing over there in the Cottage Grove area.
Certainly, certainly. Some of the same things that Derek and Susan has mentioned, but we really know that it's very important for neighborhoods to continue to connect, even during these pandemic times. There's a lot of seniors in our community, and there are a lot of people who speak various languages in our community, and so we want to stay connected because we provide a lot of resources to folks in the community. So, we had to do a pivot and find different ways to connect with folks. So the president of our neighborhood association, Ms. Torrain, Verna Torrain, and her leadership team, they call people during the week and have those people call people to check on folks because some of the people in our community do not have access to social media, internet, that type thing. And so, we're fortunate also in our community to have the health center there, Mustard Seed. And so within Mustard Seed, we have 2 community health workers who are also longtime members of Cottage Grove. And they are also members of the neighborhood association. So they're able to, in their job with Mustard Seed, to check on folks and then also get back with us. The doctor there also gets back with us to say, hey, can you check on Mr. So-and-so, or if somebody needs somebody to come by and read or just drop some things off, that type thing, and try to do some of these things with, of course, social distancing. We have had parking lot meetings. The leadership team of the association, they have parking lot meetings to discuss plans and activities for the community. We too have had COVID testing. We also have offered flu shot clinic, and we plan to have another one, I think it's October 15th, for those who are insured and uninsured. So it's just very important that community still connect. At the churches, there have been drive-through, drive-up services, live stream services, and then sometimes at those services, there are resources given out as well. Been doing, which is the last day for folks to register for the upcoming November 3rd and be able to vote in that election. And so we continue to give out resource information. We've been heavily involved through one of our faith-based partners being a host site to do food distribution. So we started food distribution, I think it was in May, connecting with the summer food distribution program. And so we did that, I think all the way up to August, the end of August. And so we're still doing food distribution. We have community gardens in Cottage Grove. And so our gardeners have been busy. They're now transitioning over to the fall season. And so we have vegetables that we've been able to take to the farmers market that's in the community up on McConnell Road. And so we've been very busy making that connection and keeping people engaged, whether or not it's we just love our beautiful new sidewalks. We encourage people to get out. And by the way, let me say the neighborhood association was very instrumental in getting behind folks and getting those sidewalks put in much sooner. So kudos to Cottage Grove for that as well. So we're still busy and feel it's very important for people to stay connected. And I love connecting with all of you on this call, on this meeting as well.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Pat McFoy. Let me
By the
give
way,
a
Pat, I
shout.
speak Spanish if you ever need somebody that speaks Spanish.
Thank you,
That's great to
Derek.
know.
I lived in Spain for a couple of years.
Okay.
Okay.
That is great to know. Don't tell me something, you know I'll call you.
That's why I told you.
So thank you all so much. I want to give a shout out tonight. I'm looking here and I see Miss Jerry Alfano is with us on tonight. She's also served as my co-host before. So hey, Miss Jerry, to Miss Rosalind Posey, I see that she is on tonight. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. And listen, just because I can, I need to give a big shout out to my son who is on with us on tonight because I teach him to be community friendly and he is with his catering business and I love him. I want him to do even more than what his mom is doing. So thank you all for joining us on tonight. I must apologize when we did the scheduling, and this is my fault. I thought I was scheduling on the off Tuesdays of city council meeting just to find out today that there is a city council meeting going on tonight. So we may shift a little bit. If you're watching, or I know some people will watch this later, we may shift our Tuesdays because I want to be on the off Tuesdays and not on the same Tuesdays as them. So thank you again for so much to those of you who are on tonight. I told you there would be a giveaway, and there is a giveaway, and this giveaway is given to the first person who logged on, and I think that was Ms. Liz Claiborne is who I think I had saw log on earlier. And she's going to get a Starbucks gift card on tonight of $10. And what you all don't know, but now you know, is that Susan Taft, Pat McFoy, and Derek Joyner, each of you will be receiving a $10 Starbucks gift card as well. That is our way of saying thank you for being great leaders in the community. We really appreciate you doing what you do because it takes you doing it for us to get it done. Somebody's got to be the leader. And we need not just leaders, but good leaders who care about people. And if you're like me, a lot of your work you do is volunteer work, but you do it because you have a passion and you have a heart to do it. And so that's what keeps you driving and moving forward. So thank you so very much. Hey, Derek, I want you, before you jump off, because I know you have to get back, I want you to talk a little bit for me. Tell me, why did Willow Oaks take it upon themselves to have COVID testing done in their neighborhood?
Okay, well, all right. Well, as we all know, I mean, well, first of all, it's very important, but as we also know, the African American community and quote unquote people of color a little bit more adversely affected than white people or Caucasians or however you want to say it. And the biggest thing is, there's a lot of fear, I think, and convenience. The biggest reason why we had it was we have a senior population here in the Willow Oaks area, and we wanted to make sure that there's no excuse. You can walk year round, so we're right here. So we want to go ahead and take care of you and make it easy for you. We were basically coming to you so that you don't have to go downtown or go one, the further you go, even if you go 2 blocks, you lose people immediately if they have to take more steps they have to take to get there, you lose them, which is a little weird because you would think, like this is your health, you have to take ownership of that. But at the same time, oh, sorry, Alexa, turn off the alarm. Sorry. I have to go back
Alexa,
to work
turn
soon.
off the alarm.
Stop it. But I mean, but at the same time, it's also a caring thing. I was raised to care about people and to want to help people. Sometimes you have to sort of put it in front of them, like, here you go, and let's do this and make sure. I mean, we were grabbing people when they were walking by, and we were like, have you gotten COVID testing? Well, I don't know. Come on, let's go. and I had a registering to vote thing at the end of the street, and I'm like, okay, when you get done, go on top of the hill and get registered to vote. And I'm like, yeah, do this. I mean, and it's for you. At the end of the day, it's for them, and we're trying to protect each other. And we're all in this together, whether you're white, black, Asian, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. We have to care about each other. There's so much disparity and there's so much negativity. And biggest thing for me is I like to be a positive person. And, Sadie knows that I'm the kiki guy. I like to laugh and have a good time. But I actually use that to do what needs to be done. And you need to make people feel at ease in order to be able to come in and do something. So you have to make it so that it's not so serious and so this, and make it fun, but at the same time maybe save their life. So
Wow. I want to jump in right there because you said something. Make it fun and maybe even save their lives. I say on this segment every time we have it, if we're not having fun, we're not doing it right. Because,
exactly.
Living in our neighborhood, there's enough serious stuff that we have to take on, but we ought to be able to laugh and have fun and come together and agree on something, regardless as to, the things that we have that are different. So I really wanted you to share. Thank you for sharing, Derek, because the other thing is, as we talk about community, we have to learn how to bring stuff to the community, bring it into the community. Oftentimes resources are places, but you have to go so far to get them. And we forget the challenges that people face of whether it's transportation or even health issues. It's just oftentimes they just can't get to where the resources are. And we often take that for granted. And so I appreciate you all, even Susan, as you talked about, well, we couldn't have an Easter egg hunt, but they had eggs in the windows, right? One neighborhood is having teddy bears in the windows. We're figuring out how do we share love in a time like this and still social distance. And that is super important. So I'm excited that you all have shared so many things and lots of stuff is being done. And I hope people, as they go back and view this, will hear and think about what is it that I can do in my community and what is it that the community can do. I will tell you as a community consultant, I don't take excuses for an answer because there's always a way to connect. I think Pat McFoy, you shared with us having a meeting in the parking lot, right? So you would think in the parking lot, yes, have a meeting in the parking lot. One of the things I know for sure, I'm a communications major, and people need to feel connected and they need to feel needed. And when they don't feel that, they go into depression. People actually die from not feeling connected. In fact, studies show when babies are not touched, they will die from the lack of touch. And so we have to figure out a way. We may cannot physically touch each other, but we should be able to touch each other's heart. We need to be able to see each other some and know that someone cares for us. So as we get ready to end up, because we have about 6 minutes left, I want to start with Ms. Pat McFoy. I want you to put a challenge out there. Bye, Derek. I know you have to get back. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell Alexa to be
Bye,
quiet.
Derek.
Well, I have one other quick thing to say. You can actually
Sure.
hold your breath with a mask on, go in for a hug, and then back off and exhale.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, the whole issue is you don't want to breathe in that whatever. hold your breath because people need hugs. Come in, hug, 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 back off, turn the other way, and exhale. Just saying.
We
And
do what we got to do, right?
do
And
what you
what's
got to do.
comfortable.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Sadie, let me
Thank
know for
you.
another
See you
meeting.
soon,
I would love
Derek.
to attend. Got to go back to work. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. All right, Miss Pat McFoy. So put a challenge out there to our neighborhoods. What would you say to them?
I would say to everybody, get out. You can always come out on your front porch and wave. How you doing? You know, let's get back to the old time way. Give a shout out to your neighbors. And if you can't do that, call somebody. Call somebody that you don't usually get, that you hadn't seen in a long while, and give them a shout out. And then you can always, I love to give those virtual hugs to people. Even walking down the street, you can hug folks. It means a lot. It means a lot. And then find out what's going on in these communities, because we've got a lot going on. We got a big event coming up in our community on October 25th, and you will hear more about it, I'm sure.
Thank you, Miss Susan. Put a challenge out there to our neighborhoods and neighbors.
Well, I challenge folks to think of new ways to get together. An example of something I did, I live on a dead end street, which was perfect for this idea. I wrote on pieces of paper and tacked it up on the telephone poles. Come visit with your neighbors, bring a chair, bring a drink, like 5:30 at the end of the street. And folks just started walking down the street, and we all met. We sat really far apart, got to know each other better, got to exchange some phone numbers. The man I've been living across the street from for 20 years, both of us dropped our home landline, and now we're using cell phones, so we didn't have numbers for each other anymore. So it was a great way to connect with the, I don't know, it was probably 10, 12 people, but it felt good to all of us to just get together, just reconnect or get to know each other for the first time. So make your own party. That's my challenge.
I love it. I love that. Make your own party. Let me share with you that Poplar Ridge neighborhood, they did porch parties. They did it back here, 4th of July, Labor Day, something. And they challenged their neighbors to come out on the porches and the driveways. And they gave a time frame and to put up balloons and stuff. And people was able to wave at neighbors. And then they challenged them, walk the neighborhood and speak to people. You know, that the weather is getting really right now where you can kind of walk the neighborhood and wave at people. As Ms. Pat McFoy said, give those virtual hugs. So we want to encourage you. And then lastly, let me tell you, have Zoom meetings. If there are neighborhoods that are still needing help with Zoom meetings, please reach out to me. You can send me a message. You can email me, whatever you need to do, because we want you to stay connected. I have an announcement tonight, and Ms. Pat McFoy kind of shedded light on it. In the Willow Oaks community, we will be having a fall festival with social distancing and wearing masks and hand sanitizing and all that good stuff that will take place on October the 25th from 1 to 3 p.m. And it will be at the church there in their community, True Salvation Christian Fellowship, which is the church I go to. And I really advocate and push for churches to be involved with communities, not pushing religion, but pushing community. And so we'll have a lot of stuff going on out there. We'll have a health fair going on out there. There'll be some fun things that the kids can do. There's going to be some type of cake walk, dessert walk, some type of thing like that. We will definitely have social distancing going on. And we're trying to collaborate with communities because it's not about me, it's about we. Just like on this call tonight, it's about all of us and how we come together and collaborate. The time is now 7 o'clock, and I really appreciate each of you being on, to Miss Susan Taft, Miss Pat McFoy, and Derek Joyner, who has now left us. Thank you so much again for joining us. I want to continue. I want to encourage you to continue doing what you're doing and know that you may be one person, but you're making a big difference in the lives of other people. And we need more people like you to do what you do. And hey, if you're looking at us until the next time, I hope to see you again. But until then, stay engaged in your community and remember, you matter. Have a good evening.
Bye. Thank you.